Hi there, fellow sea glass lovers. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'm Jackie, and this is part 16 in my Lighthouse Workshop series. And as you can see, I have my entire window filled in with sea glass. So in today's video, I'm going to talk to you about some finishing touches and how to pull your piece together in the end to make it a little bit more interesting. So the first thing you need to do once you've got all your sea glass filled in is take your pattern off the back and stand it up against the wall and stand back and look at it, because you want to look for any pieces that have fallen off, because whenever you stand it up, there's usually a few pieces that fall off. This time I only had one piece fall off. Usually I have quite a few, because as you're gluing on, you kind of miss a few here and there, and then when you don't know until you stand it up and they fall off. The other thing is you want to look for anything missing or anything that you can add or anything that needs to be changed. So I'm going to show you a few things that I noticed that I need to do for changes to this one. And last of all, I'm going to show you the importance of creating all sorts of interesting details, because I am a bit of a fan of sea glass. I feel like every single piece that I put into a mosaic is an interesting piece, because I just love the stuff that I collect at the beach. But when you stand back and look at this, everything reads as a picture of a lighthouse at the seashore. So you want to try and draw people in. Look at the overall picture, but then you want their eye to travel around the picture and look at all the different details. And I'm going to show you a few things that I did that you're not going to notice unless you look really close. And last of all, finishing touch, you want to add a label. So I often will write the name of a piece. I'm going to call this one Through Stormy Waters, because a lighthouse is meant to guide you through stormy waters. And when I'm working on a lighthouse, it often helps guide me through the stormy waters that I'm going through in my life at the time. And I have had a few challenges lately in my life, so this has really helped me. And then I put my name on it, and then I glue it to the back of my piece. You can label your piece and glue it to the front if you want, but be sure to put your signature on there somewhere. So let me show you some interesting details and finishing touches for your sea glass mosaic lighthouse. So when I stood back and looked at my piece, I did notice a few things that I wanted to add or make adjustments to. One is that I really notice underneath the sail of my sailboat, it looks like there's some gaps there. You want to look for gaps in your mosaic where there's a little bit too much light coming through. So I want to put a few more green pieces in there to fill in that little bit of a hole there. I also found this one piece of sea glass right up here above my cloud. That piece of sea glass right there is not well finished. Most of my sea glass is really frosty, and that one isn't, and it's really standing out to me. So I'm going to take that piece out and replace it with a good frosty piece. The other thing I noticed is that I really like a lot of weight at the bottom of my mosaic, and I decided I wanted to put a little bit more weight down here at the bottom in my middle pane. And I also thought my piece of driftwood looked a little bit blah, and I'm going to add some interest. There's a hole right there. I'm going to add something into that hole. I have a marble that I'm going to put in there. It's not a really well finished marble, but it's one I found at the beach. And I also thought I might add a few little pieces of beach treasure onto the piece of driftwood just to add some interest there. And I might go through and add a few more pieces of sea glass on top of other pieces of sea glass, just to add a few more bits of interest. You don't want a person to just take a glance at your piece and look away. You want them to be drawing in close to look at all sorts of interesting details. So let me make those changes. So I got those things done, and now I just had to step back and say enough is enough. It can be tempting once you're adding on little more details to just keep going. You get more and more ideas as you're going, but you have to draw a line somewhere, because you don't want to make your piece too busy. It still needs to be relaxing, because the whole idea of sea glass art is for it to be relaxing. So I'm just going to take you on a little tour of my piece to show you a bunch of my little details in the hopes that it inspires you for different ways that you can add some detail to your piece. so that you can draw your viewer in. So you can see that marble in there, in the hole in the piece of driftwood, and I put 3 little shells on there. I was tempted to do more, but I thought, no, I better not. You'll also notice that the rocks in the bodies of my 2 Inukshuks are really beautiful rocks, and then the rest of it is sea pottery. So a person has to look close to see that. Another detail I'll show you here is right here, I have pieces of brown sea glass standing on edge. And my grasses here, those are pieces of sea glass standing on edge as well. Putting pieces of sea glass on edge can add another bit of interest. You'll see that little fish in the water. And you'll see I put a little extra piece of sea glass on the sail. Of course, the red piece really stands out. And in the bottom here, the only thing I ended up adding was I had this little mussel shell that I added. And I put a couple of pieces of amethyst on the windowsill and 1 little piece of amethyst inside the mussel shell. So you really have to focus in to see that. So that's something that would really draw a person closer, to look closer at your piece. And the same with all the shells and the rocks and all of that stuff. Now this blue rock sitting on top of the gray rock, well, it's more purple than blue. It has all sorts of spirals on it. So it's just those little details that draw a person closer. And you might have missed the footprints and the turtle if you didn't look close. Every little rock in the rock path to the lighthouse is interesting. All those pieces of mirrored glass on the lighthouse are interesting. And then as you get up into the sky, you've got a blue flag. The yellow piece in the lighthouse, very interesting gumdrop piece. The painted windows are kind of neat. And then, of course, there's all the sky interest, all those purple clouds and the bluebirds. And again, I'm doing some lines of sea glass where I'm standing sea glass on end. There's a line of sea glass on end up in the sky. And I've got another group here where it's all sea glass pieces on end. All of these little details, and of course that gorgeous piece of sea glass for the sun. That's just a stunning piece of sea glass, but you have to look close because it can be kind of lost in the sky. And then, of course, my pride flag, the painted pieces of sea glass, that really stands out. You don't have to look too close. And that really makes that big sailboat stand out. But you might have to take a minute to see the tiny little sailboat on the horizon line. So overall, I hope this inspires you to add lots of detail. You don't want to be too busy, but you want enough interest to draw a person in to look close. So thanks so much for joining me for this video. I have 1 more video in this series, and that is to show you how to hang it. You've probably seen some of my hanging videos before, but this one's going to be a bit different because I'm trying a different technique. So be sure to join me next week and I'll show you how to hang your sea glass lighthouse. So I hope you make it out to the beach, and happy sea glass hunting.